Hello, guys. Just like we say, great speakers aren't born, they are trained. Similarly, presentation is a skill which can be developed through training and experience. Hi, I'm Dr. Poonam Agarwal, Professor Biochemistry. In this short presentation, I'll be discussing how to make effective PowerPoint presentation. See, PowerPoint presentation is an indispensable tool. If you want to present in seminar or in lectures, you need to prepare PowerPoints for your audience and you have to engage your audience with your PowerPoint presentation. So in this video, short video, I'm going to tell you how to make an effective PowerPoint presentation. So the basic rule of PowerPoint presentation is keep it simple and sequential. Remember the rule of KISS. Keep it simple and sequential. Another S may be for smart. Keep it simple and smart. But how simple? Now that is the biggest question, how simple it should be kept. Now I'll be giving you certain tips under following headings. I'll be talking to you what design and layout to be selected for making the slide and what kind of color contrast can be selected. Then font selection, I'll be talking about font selection, then size of the font which can be chosen upon. Then what is the rule of 6 in making the PowerPoint presentation? I'll be talking briefly about that and what all points should be avoided, what all things should be avoided while making an effective PowerPoint presentation. So first of all, let me tell you that from the basic, as I'm telling you this, let me tell you how you will get a PowerPoint first of all. So right click on the desktop, then go to the new and then select the Microsoft PowerPoint presentation, new PPT. Suppose I'm putting the name of this PPT as a new PPT. Double clicking this, I'm getting the PowerPoint ready to be prepared. So clicking on the first slide, I get the slides. And now you can see the toolbar which is having file, home, insert, design, transitions, animations, slideshow, review. I'll be discussing them one by one. So I just want to say that when you have selected a new PowerPoint, you get a blank page like this with single slide over here. Now, suppose you have to write the topic of your presentation, like for example, you're writing how to prepare effective PowerPoints. You can write it here like this. And coming to this PowerPoint slides, which I have already prepared for this presentation purpose, as I told you, that I'll be discussing the preparation of PowerPoint under following heading, right? So first of all, talking to you about design and layout. The basic rule of design and layout is that it should be simple. You should focus more on the topic, not on the slides. So the question is from where you're going to get the design and layout. So for that, you should see on toolbar, you're having these quotations like you have design heading. If you click on that, there are a number of designs which are displayed here. You can select any design for your presentation. You can select this, you can select this, you can select this. Accordingly, all your slides will be changed. But in my opinion, it is important that you keep your slides simple initially. Like for example, if you focus here, I have just taken this as a background for my slide. So this is the simplest design I have selected. You can always change your PowerPoint design later on. After complete presentation is ready, you can always change the design of all the slides altogether, or the design of a single slide selectively you can change. So in my opinion, what I feel that it's important to keep the design simple initially when you have just started with making of a PowerPoint, right? And later on, according to your need, you can change it. You can also format the background, like any particular color if you wish to select. Like for example, if you see the background of my slide is white, which I have selected, you can select any color. Like you just go to the format background, click on this icon solid fill, and then you select the color from this particular color icon, any color which you select. Say for example, if you select this color, the background will be format big background we have gone, so background will be now blue in color. You can keep the blue color only for this slide, or you can apply to all. If you click over here, apply to all, then all the slides will be having the blue background. So that you can do initially itself, or you can do later once the presentation is complete, your preparation is complete. So this, you have seen how to select the design and how to format the background if you wish to do it initially, or you can do it later. Now, and as I told you, after selecting the design, you have to select the layout. Layout means where will you go for layout, what it means, what does layout means. Layout icon, when you click, you get so many layouts. You can select any layout for your slide. I have selected for this particular slide the title and content. And suppose if you wish to put the title, the first slide will have title and your designation and name. So for that you will be selecting title slide, right? Suppose if I am taking a new slide over here and wish to make it a title slide, the appearance will be like this. Here you can put the title, here you can put the subtitle, which may be your name, designation, right? So, or otherwise the layout, suppose if it's an intermediate slide, you can select the layout as title and content. Then you'll get this kind of picture where you can put the heading of the topic which you're going to teach in this slide, and then the points which you're going to discuss or present with the audience. Like for example, in this slide, I have taken the layout as title and content. So this is the title heading and this is the content heading. Now coming to the next aspect of it, color contrast. The color contrast is very important. Now you should know that how the color of the background and the text should be matched. You should avoid red-blue conflict. Never use the blue background and with the red letter on it, or the red background with the blue letter text on it. They give a flickering effect which is bad and it's not acceptable. Similarly, if you're using the, you see here, you're using the yellow background and using the white color ink for writing on it, it's not giving the good contrast. Similarly, yellow on white, black on blue, or blue on black is not giving good contrast. So try to avoid these combinations when you prepare the slide. And that's something very important. Color contrast of the slide is very important for it to be more appealing and more visible to your audience. The basic rule says that dark colors on the light background works best, and avoid distracting pictures or design in the background. Like for example, if you see in this slide, I have got this unnecessary figure which is a distractor in my slide. So it's better to avoid such distractors from your slide. Only relevant figures can be incorporated. Figures and tables can be incorporated in the slide. Now coming to the next aspect of it, I have discussed you how to select the design and layout, and then the color to be selected. Now selection of the font. It is very important that you follow the set rule of selection of the font. Ideally speaking, you can always modify this rule depending on your audience, depending on your number of audience, depending upon the size of the hall. The size of the font also should vary. Though if it is a small room, you can go with the small fonts, but if it is a large room where you have to have your presentation, the font should be of adequate size, otherwise it will not be visible to your audience. So this is the basic rule of size of the font, which can always be modified depending upon the requirement of the presentation. The title should be of 32 to 44 point size and should be bold, and text which you're writing should be as large as possible, and optimum size is 24 to 32 points, And this is how, like, you have to select the font. For selecting the font, you can go to like, for example, you want to write something over here. Suppose if you want to write something over here, you go to this font section, select the font. Suppose it is Arial which you're selecting. The size of it is going to be 20, and now you're going to write here, write something, write your point here, write something over here. So this is the Calibri of 28 size. So this is how the font and the pattern of font, size of the font and pattern of the font should be selected from this board. And that should be according to the need of the audience, according to the need of your presentation. Right, now coming to the next aspect of it, I would like to tell you about a very interesting rule of 6 for making the PowerPoint. What is the rule of 6? The 1-6-6 rule in practice in making the PowerPoint. 1 means you should have only one idea per slide. Don't crowd a single slide with multiple ideas. 6 means have at the most 6 bullet points. If you see in this slide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 bullet points we are having. Don't crowd the slide with 10 bullet points or 12 bullet points. That's called crowding of the slide, which is not at all entertained. Then maximum 6 words per bullet point. If you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, each sentence is having 6 words in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is ideal presentation where 6 bullets, 6 words in each line is all there. Then what else? This slide has 6 bullet points, as I've told you. Each bullet point has 6 words and it's a good presentation. So this is the rule of 1-6-6, which you should remember. Never crowd the slide with multiple bullet points, and never in one bullet point you write multiple words. Don't make the sentence very large, very heavy. So audience will not be able to assimilate that. Now, this is the slide which is talking to you. What all things should be kept in mind? What all things should be avoided? Now, what is the point over here which I am just telling you? Too many colors in a fonts or in a slide should be avoided because it's a distractor. Like, for example, if you see this line, too many colors, nothing is visible clearly and it's a very much distractive slide. Too many fonts and a style is also not welcomed. For a particular slide, you should have a particular font and it's a style. And it's better to maintain the uniformity in all the slides while preparing your slides. And I have seen that many of the presenters, they use capital letters to emphasize each and every word they say in whole presentation. That is, in my opinion, is not a very good concept because it doesn't allow the audience to read the points clearly and retain it. So don't use all capital letters. Use capital letters only for those words which you need to emphasize upon. And too many animations should be avoided, and crowding of sentences should be avoided. Now, how to best, I will be talking little about the animation. You have seen in some of my slides I have used the animation. I show you, if I show you the animations like I have used, and there are a number of slides where I have used animations. This is the slide where I have used the animation. These are 2 points where I speak these 2 points. After this, when I put the enter button, I get the next point, then next point. This is because of animation. So animations are of multiple types, and what type of animation you're going to use, or whether you're going to use the animation or not, firsthand, it all depends upon the point which you wish to emphasize upon to the audience. Suppose if you want to use the animation, go to the animation in the toolbar and select the sentence. Suppose this is the sentence which you wish that after putting the enter key button, you should have this sentence projecting to the audience. Then just select this sentence and go to the animation and click on any sort of animation. Say, for example, appear. Then suppose if you click it on appear, then this line will be coming when you put the enter button. I already had animation in this slide. The avoid using in every slide was the first animation, so this has taken as a second animation. So animation can always be applied. Like for example, in this slide I can explain you how to put the animation. Like there are 1 2 3 4 5 points are there. Now I wish to present the slide. The first sentence can be omitted from animation, it's not required. And second sentence is highlighted, and we are going to animation and we put it like fly in. Then third sentence is this, I'm putting it fly in. Then selecting the fourth sentence, I'm putting fly in. And this crowding of sentence, suppose this is the last sentence which I need my audience to visualize, then I'm putting it fly in. Now when you go to slideshow and check for the animations which you have applied, now you see, because the first line was not animated, it is projected directly. Then on putting the enter button, the second statement is coming in front on that slide. Then third animation, fourth animation, fifth animation. This is how the animation can be utilized. If you want to emphasize on sentences one by one in the slide, you can utilize the animations. But it's not important that you put animations for all the slides. Now, what do you say about this particular slide? If you see, there are a lot of sentences on this slide, and when the speaker is standing in front of audience, they're just going to read it. Like a speaker may put his entire presentation on his slide, he turn his back on the audience and read the slide aloud. Perhaps he feels this approach guarantees all the information will be taken by the audience. This may be the most annoying way to give a present. See, so much of crowding of sentences is there, and this is the true fact which is written over here, but you don't need to write everything on the slide. And the slide is too busy. No audience will be interested to look upon on this slide. So it is very important that only selective sentences should be there in the slide. So you have to review your slides, go through them several times, make a rough draft, and then keep on looking at them again and again and do the modification hand in hand. Now add spacing wherever required, make it bold. Sentences should be bold, or words should be bold wherever you need to emphasize on the point. Now avoid run of sentences or paragraphs. Don't put whole paragraph on the slide, that's not at all welcome. Key points should be mentioned in the slide following 166 rule. Now bullet points are required, and use the notes if needed. See, if the information is too much to be given to the audience and you're not confident that you will be able to speak everything over there in front of audience, if you're just putting the bullet points and key points over there, then you can see on the slide, on the PowerPoint, we have one at the bottom line, we have click to add notes. You can click here and you can type anything. You can type any information. Type any information here which you wish to share with the audience. And you can always, select your slide. If you go to this 3 bullet point, it is having option show presenter view. So just click on that. If you do that, you'll have this kind of picture where notes are also seen. Can you see type any information over here, which I typed there during in that box where the click notes was there. So this is how, this is a viewer, it's a presenter view where the notes are also seen. This will not be visible to the audience. So you can read the key information here and can speak up there in the audience. So this you can do. So it's advisable that don't crowd the slide like this. Don't put all the information in a slide. Use the bullet points, and if required, use the this box for typing any information. Right now, so in conclusion, KISS rule should be followed. Keep it simple and sequential, and don't keep it stupid. Rather, you have to keep it smart. Only few words per slide, only few images per slide, lots of white spaces, lot of background spaces should be seen, only one key point per slide, right? And don't forget to put a thank you slide at the end, because anyways your audience is patiently listening you, so don't forget to thank them with a beautiful thank you slide towards the end, right? So this is how the basic rule of PowerPoint presentation should be followed. And that's not hard and fast rule, it's not rule of thumb. You can always modify these rules as per your convenience, according to the need of the presentation, according to the need of the audience, according to the need of the infrastructure which is provided to you in terms of lighting in the hall and the size of the hall and everything. So this is in nutshell is the brief video for making the PowerPoint for a beginner. And for more such videos, you can always ask me your choice, whatever topics you wish me to teach. I can always make a presentation and can give you. And you can subscribe my channel, which is by name of Dr. Poonam Agarwal. And on YouTube you'll be getting much more many informative videos over there. I'm a professor biochemistry. I upload certain videos of biochemistry, also some key points of biochemistry. Also today I just thought I'll share some information on making of PowerPoint. So thank you very much, and thanks a lot.